has found Cole.
Well, Rooney's dropping off and having a lot to say about this England movement at the moment.
Milevski's won a free kick, and this will be the moment for Andrei Shevchenko to replace Andriy Voronin. Voronin has had his differences with the coach Mikhailichenko. He didn't figure in the last qualifier against Croatia and made his displeasure evident. And Shevchenko was not a happy man before the game here tonight. He didn't warm up with the rest of the squad. Clearly rather miffed at being left on the substitutes bench. And here's his moment to make his mark. European Footballer of the Year 2004, well known to John Terry and Frank Lampard from the 2 years he spent at Chelsea.
Yes, he has been a wonderful player, no question, a 1-in-2 scorer when he left Kiev to go to Milan, a wonderful player in tandem with Sergei Rebrov in some golden performances for Kiev.
Still only 32 years of age, Shevchenko, but here comes a man who will be celebrating his 34th birthday next month and is a teammate of Shevchenko, where great old footballers go out to pastures. Milan these days.
I thought you were going to say to shop.
Maybe. I think that's why they have wives.
I'm sure they enjoy the training there, playing with fantastic players every day of the week, but it must be very frustrating if you're not playing in the team.
Johnson watching that very carefully. Steady defending again from Glenn Johnson. Ashley Cole. Lampard to Barry. Rooney. Some of England's passing has been good in the second half. That wasn't an example of it from Rooney. Here's Shevchuk. Milevski. Shevchenko is on the move ahead of him. He's got a bit more dash about him than Voronin.
Terry read that well. Terry will know him better than anyone. Certainly won't be able to outrun John Terry, that's for sure.
Played more than 50 games as teammates together at Chelsea. How many training sessions will Terry have had to deal with Shevchenko?
His strength now is his cunning in the box, his movement across players in the box, his ability to get his shots in. But unless they can get into wide positions and force the pace and get balls into the box, I can't see how Shevchenko can get some glory in this remaining half hour or so. But it'll be fascinating to watch him. And here's all the applause now.
Standing ovation. Not so much for the departure of Aaron Lennon, but for the arrival of the iconic David Beckham, England's most capped outfield player, appearing from the bench for the 7th time in the last 8 internationals, but unlike Shevchenko, a regular in the Milan team. Piatov punching. This is the first touch for Beckham, but player's been stopped because Piatov is hurt.
I'm a little bit disappointed in many ways that Lennon's gone off. I think that his pace and his penetration is a great weapon, and I'd like to see him get a full 90 minutes to really see how he can play at this level, because we're going to have to look for the future. There you see the free kick against Piatov, the referee protecting the goalkeeper.
We will have highlights from this game later this evening on ITV1 at 10:45. As we said, our next live football is next week from the Champions League, but this coming weekend, Sunday morning, 10:45, ITV1, the Championship, the featured match between Sheffield United and Ipswich Town, and also on Sunday, but on ITV4, late morning, a new series of the British Touring Car Championship begins at Brands Hatch. Pietov's okay. Ukraine will sportingly return the ball to England at completely the opposite end of the field from where they had it. Chagrinsky also has a slight head injury.
It's not hair in his eyes, is it, Clive, over there?
Beckham looking for Rooney, cut out by Mikalik. Oh, but Slussar's been caught in possession by Barry. Timoshuk trying to tidy up, but just does an emergency clearance in the end. Well, both coaches have made prominent moves here, introducing their most famous faces to the equation in this second half. Beckham just unable to hold off Shevchuk. And that is a Ukraine throw-in.
I assume Capello feels that we've got the main part of the possession of the game, that Ukrainian aren't threatening us at the moment, and maybe with possession Beckham will produce a free kick or a corner kick, or try and ping one onto Crouch's head for him to make a further chance. There we see Glenn Johnson's challenge.
England still lead by Peter Crouch's 15th international goal after 29 minutes. Rooney, here is Crouch, tackled by Slussar. The omnipresent Timoshuk is there. Shevchenko, Aliev. That's what really made an impression on the game. Alexander Aliev. Latest addition to Ukraine's ranks is the midfield player Sergei Nazarenko, who will replace Valyaev. Nazarenko played in all three previous qualifiers, so he's a regular. He got a couple of goals for them in their victory in Kazakhstan in September.
And we're led to believe that this is a speedy player, so he might have some effect on the counter-attack. At the moment, Ukraine being pushed back into their defensive half and haven't really threatened David James at all in this period, but maybe a little bit more pace will be the correct recipe for them. But they need to do something. They need to be a little bit more ambitious if they want to get the equaliser.
Crouch on towards Rooney, just couldn't quite gather it in his stride. Held up by Mikalik and eventually fouled by Mikalik, and here's a free kick in a very promising position. And who was that latest England substitute? Never scored a goal for England at Wembley, David Beckham.
Look at the determination and the persistence of Rooney. We saw it early in the game, winning a free kick just on the edge of the box. And
you see Rooney come to the ball there, and Beckham just pushed him away. He said, "No, I think you'll find I take the free kicks for England." Well, Piatov, the goalkeeper, knows what's coming. Is there anything he can do about it, though?
Vital to Beckham is the wall goes back the full 10 yards, and I think Bo Larson is making sure they do that.
He's doing everything he can for Beckham in that respect. He's got his eyes trained on one little square of netting. Not that one, though. Just look at his standing foot when he takes this. Look at how far he leans over.
Yes, he just drifts the ball, doesn't he? He doesn't put too much power onto the ball. It's a gentle swing. Lovely shape.
It wasn't quite the width that he sometimes gets in a free kick. You see a slow motion sometimes, his standing leg almost seems to collapse underneath him as he leans backwards and tries to swing the ball up and over the wall. It's quite an art form. It's a sight of